You're at a coffee shop. Everyone around you is paired up or in groups, talking, laughing, and there you are, alone with your book or your thoughts. A well-meaning stranger approaches. Are you waiting for someone? You smile politely and say yes, even though the truth is simpler and somehow more complicated. You're not waiting for anyone. You chose this. You wanted this. But explaining that feels like admitting to something shameful in a world that treats solitude like a problem that needs solving. But here's what nobody tells you. While everyone calls this a problem, neuroscientists just discovered it might actually be an evolutionary advantage. I'll show you that brain scan in a moment, but first, think back to elementary school. Remember being 8 years old at recess? While everyone fought over the swings, you were crouched by the fence, watching a line of ants carry a piece of leaf 3 times their size. And you weren't lonely. You were fascinated. Here's what most people get wrong. They think loving to be alone means you hate people, that you're antisocial, damaged, or going through something difficult. They see solitude and immediately want to fix it, as if being alone is a wound that needs healing. But research in behavioral psychology reveals something fascinating. In a 2020 study, researchers found that people who actively seek solitude score higher in what's called autonomous functioning. Now here's what that actually means for your real life. When you go through a breakup, lose a job, or face a crisis, you don't immediately panic and call 5 people. You have an internal emotional first aid kit that kicks in automatically. You process, you reflect, you stabilize yourself. That's not being cold. That's having a superpower most people don't develop until their 40s, if ever. Let me ask you something. When was the last time you were truly bored? Not scrolling, not listening to a podcast, just sitting with nothing but your own thoughts. For most people, that's terrifying. In a famous study at the University of Virginia, they found that 67% of men chose to shock themselves, literally, give themselves an electric shock rather than sit with their own minds. But people who love solitude, they're the opposite. When you sit in that room, your internal world isn't a void you're desperate to escape. It's a landscape you actually enjoy exploring. Psychologists call this introspective processing. Your mind doesn't need external entertainment because it's inherently entertaining to itself. And in a world addicted to constant distraction, that might be the rarest skill of all. Here's what people who love to be alone understand intuitively. Connection isn't measured in quantity, it's measured in depth. You probably have a small circle, maybe just 2 or 3 people you'd call in a real crisis. While others collect hundreds of contacts, you've carefully curated a handful of relationships that actually matter. Anthropologist Robin Dunbar calls this our inner circle. You'd rather have 1 conversation that changes how you see the world than 100 that leave you feeling more alone than when you started. That's not being picky, that's having standards. So when your family asks why you're always in your room or friends try to get you out of your shell, remember, choosing yourself isn't selfish, it's self-aware. If you're someone who loves to be alone, I need you to hear this. You're not missing out. You're not broken. You're whole. Right now, in this moment, exactly as you are. The world will keep trying to convince you that happiness looks like noise, crowds, constant stimulation. But you've discovered something quieter and infinitely more sustainable. Your love of solitude isn't a phase you'll grow out of. It's the way your particular mind finds clarity in a chaotic world. So the next time someone asks if you're waiting for someone at that coffee shop, maybe the honest answer is no. I'm exactly where I want to be. If this resonated with you, let me know in the comments what part hit home. And if you're ready to explore more about how your mind actually works, subscribe to Mindscope Psychology. This is where we talk about the science of being human in all its quiet, beautiful complexity.